Hello everyone, this is John from RPGs and More. And as you can tell, in today's video, we're going to have the second session of our Knave solo game. You see there. I've done a few things. I pre-played this some days ago, and then I used that time to also prepare some visual aids. For example, here is a rough drawing of our main PC here, Aldem. Just a quick, with his too small clothing, very thin, gaunt expressions, his oily dark hair, he's in his bucket on his back, as well as his single dagger there. He's not wearing very nice clothing. That just gives us a general idea of what he looks like. And I enjoyed doing it. Okay, now the other thing that we're doing here with the second session, I revamped the calendar a little bit. So instead of going by the months of the years that we use, which is what I was previously doing, I gave each month their own name. And Janeberry being the first month of the year lasts 31 days, and this month marks the passing of Saint Jane. But actually, that's right. I did make a change. I changed that to the month of begging, or the beginning. So we call that a beginning month. And Janeberry is actually going to be a holiday within that day. I apologize. I made that change later and forgot to mark it properly. Anyway, I'm not going to go through all of the months. That would be a very long video. But know that there is now a calendar, which means that the current date is the 15th of Tallow. The day is Monday, or Mundus, and it is 8 o'clock in the morning. This is the day after the previous adventure. I also spent some time detailing the monetary system of Hassenberg. It uses the Avalonian Coinage officially. The Avalonian Coinage is fairly straightforward. 1 copper is 1 pence. 5 coppers is a 5 pence. 10 coppers is a 10 pence. 25 coppers is a quarter crown. 50 coppers is a half crown. And 100 coppers is an entire crown. Some of these names may sound familiar to people. That is sort of intentional. We're going to keep with the idea of... and to give people some more further context, I am roughly phrasing things that 1 copper or 1 pence is the equivalent of $1 US. So there's you can buy a jug of beer. It's not a jug. You can buy a glass of beer or ale for 1 pence. It may not be the best ale in the world, but you can do it. All right, so that's the monetary system that we're working with here. Okay, at the beginning of our session, Aldem is given his things and kicked back out into the street by the constables. Does he puzzle out who helped him, who paid? Now we know from the previous session that the mysterious woman who hired him paid his bail and allowed him to get out of jail. But she does not reveal herself to him. So Aldem is going to make a wisdom save to attempt to suss out who it was that... to see if you can have the wherewithal to guess who might have done this. And he rolled a 9 with a bonus of 2. for a total of 11. That's a fail. So, no, he does not figure out who actually helped him. In fact, he gets the wrong idea. He thinks that someone else helped him. So, does he have any friends in the city? It's likely that he does. He's been here for, I'm imagining, quite a while. I don't think he was originally from here, but he came here in order to study to be a lawyer. He's had to have made some friends along the way. So it's likely, I roll 2 dice and take the higher result of the 2. So that was a 10, which a 10, using the rules for a lonely knave, is what's referred to as a shake-up, which means that something happens to change the fundamental structure of the story, to change the scene entirely, and probably make the previous question a bit moot. I decided to answer the previous question, but in an interesting way. So he thinks that his ex-lover must have helped him, and now he is going to seek her out. He's thinking that maybe she had a change of heart, and she bailed him out because she really wants to be with him after all, instead of breaking up with him when he was down and out. So this could be an entire change to his perspective and his experience in this city right now. What is she doing? So this is kind of like, what sort of person is his ex-lover? And the result that I got is a 13, a 1, and a 4, which gives us the words spy emotions safely. So I thought, when I think of someone who spies on others' emotions in a safe manner, I think of someone who's a professional fortune teller or palm reader, someone who kind of does the medieval version of psychology, basically, but for profit. So she's a fortune teller, and she tries to help people deal with their troubles. Aldem thinks that his previous association with her could also be why Melina, the servant to the headmaster, accused him of magic. Why else would she do so? That doesn't make any sense to him. Well, he can make that wrong assumption. He tries to get his bearings and find her shop, because he's been kind of kicked out from the jail, and I'm imagining that while Aldem is not the brightest bulb, so he's not the best bulb of onion in the crop, or garlic in this case. He's probably not had spent a lot of time in jail. So this is a wisdom save. He rolled a 9, add 2 to that, for a total of 11. So that leaves him 4 short of the 15 that he would have to roll to get a success. So I am ruling that means that it takes him 4 hours to find her shop, 4 hours of being lost in the city and moving around. So one thing I did not do in the previous episode is I did not make random encounter checks. And I should have done that. So here I'm going to make random encounter checks for every half hour, every 30 minutes that he spends looking through the city, and see what happens. All right, so the first one is a 3. Nothing happens. What I'm doing is I'm rolling a 1d6 for these random encounter checks. On a 1, a negative encounter happens. On a 2 through a 4, nothing happens. And then on a 6, a positive random encounter occurs, something that makes his life easier. So then we go to the second one. So this is after an hour of searching. 2, nothing happens. All right. Then he keeps searching, and this is the third half hour of his search, and he rolls, and I rolled a 6, which is a positive random encounter. So I went to the Town Happenings table. It's a D100 table in, I believe it's in the Book of Random Tables, but let me double check that. Nope, I was wrong. That is in, I think that was book 5. Yes. So, I went to the Town Happenings table on page 46 through 48 of the Book of Random Tables number 5. And I rolled getting a 72. And what that result means is, as he is walking down the street, lost and hungry, Aldem smells something beautiful. He turns his head to follow the scent. His nose leads him to a storefront. Then I rolled for female names. I got a 6. Afton is what I rolled, but I changed that a little bit to Aphelma's. Aphelma's Perfumery is written on the shop sign up above. A young woman is standing nearby with a ceramic jar in her hand. She looks at Aldem and smiles slightly before flicking good-smelling droplets onto him. And this is where the second image that I prepared for today's session comes into play. So here's a quick sketch of this young woman who has just flicked some ointment from a small ceramic jar in her hand. You can't really see the jar. I made it way too small. I'm not good at drawing hands. My apologies. She flicks it onto him, and it's some sort of perfume or rose water. "Hey!" Aldem exclaims in surprise. She grins. "Do you like it?" Aldem grumbles. "Yeah, it smells good." He looks up. "But don't go flicking people!" "Oh, that's our free sample." She points towards the door. "Even a scholar such as you should appreciate the finer things." I think I originally had imagined him wearing some sort of scholar's robe. I clearly changed the motif after I wrote this part, so I don't know. Maybe he's got something else on him that denotes him as a scholar. Some design on the vest, perhaps. "Besides, you look like you could use something to cheer you up." "No, that's true." "Thank you, Miss Tulin. This is my mother's shop. Would you like a bottle of rose water, Mr. Aldem Bedford?" And no, I'm looking for the scarlet bauble. Tulin looks disappointed, then shrugs. "You really must be lost. I think it is in the Hamlin Street. It's over on Hamlin Street. 2 blocks west of here and a little north." "Thank you, Tulin." Aldem offers her a weak smile, then turns to leave. I now belatedly made a reaction roll to see how Tulin was really reacting to him. And I got an 11, which is talkative. "Is that lavender soap you have?" Tulin asks before he can leave. Remember, he started out with a bucket and a bar of soap. "Yes," he admits. It was a gift." I'm imagining it was a gift from his fortune-telling ex-lover. Probably one of those like, "Here, you need this more than I do" sort of things. "Are you looking for a bath? I mean, you've got that bucket." Aldem frowns. He feels embarrassed. He hasn't seen his ex for a while and isn't sure what to make of this talkative girl. I'm on my way to meet someone." "At the Scarlet Bauble? Oh, are you going to have her read your fortune with you? Are you going to have her read your fortune with your friend?" "What? The person you're going to meet. Why else would you meet there?" "I guess that's true." "Listen, there's a well down that street half a block. You could use your bucket to get some water there and then wash in an alley." She grinned. "Then come back here and I'll give you another free sample. Just tell your friend about our shop." Aldem smiles and nods his thanks. I'll do that." He heads to the indicated direction. In the indicated, maybe it won't be such a bad day after all. End of session 2. Now we go to the material that we cover after the end of session 2. We have encountered a new character, or 2 new characters. We have Aldem's ex-lover, who is a fortune teller. That's all we know about her at this point. Then we have Tulin, the daughter of a perfumer who is talkative. And there she is. Okay. Then the plot that we're going with right now is recover the brooch. First, we have to locate it, then we have to obtain it, then we have to escape from obtaining it, then we have to turn it into the mysterious woman. Aldem has succeeded in locating it. He knows where it is, but he hasn't done anything else. The threads. Why was Aldem accused of magic without a license instead of his actual crime? What illegal activity is Melina involved with in regards to the orphanage? And Aldem doesn't know who the mysterious cloaked stranger is or who they work for. And now, because we've completed 2 full sessions, it's time to level up. So I rolled 2 8-sided dice in order to get hit points, coming with a total of an 8 plus a 4 to 12. So that takes Aldem's hit points from 2 to 12. Not bad. For ability adjustments, I chose Wisdom, Charisma, and Constitution, because those are things that... the Wisdom, because he's been using it a lot to try to deduce things. The Constitution, because he got his butt kicked and then survived to talk about it. And Charisma, because he's going to take a bath between now and the next session. So, having chosen all of those things, let's go and look at our character sheet now. Back to the beginning. And we are going to fill in that bubble that denotes that we finished 2 full sessions, bringing us to second level. So now I've got 3 more to fill in order to reach 3rd level. All right. Now we go to Aldem Bedford. His alignment is neutral, is now level 2. So we can officially update that. And he's completed 2 sessions. I'll update that later. His hit points are now 12. His armor class is still 11, thanks to a +1 from dexterity. Although I may take that away, because I'm not sure that's how this is supposed to work, actually. His strength remains 12. His dexterity remains 11. His constitution score is now 12, giving him a +2 bonus. His intelligence is 13. His wisdom is now 13. And his charisma is 13. So that's pretty good. Speed is still about 40 feet per round, and nothing else has really changed. So this concludes the 2nd episode of the Knave solo adventure, as our hero, young Aldem, seeks to recover the stolen brooch and hopefully get his way back into the school so he can continue to study to be a lawyer, or make his fortunes some other way. Thank you for taking time to listen to this story, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a like, maybe subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I'm enjoying this more relaxed format than what I was previously doing, and I may try to do this with some other games as well in the future. It may be some weeks before I post another video because the Christmas holidays are upon us. Happy holidays to all of you, by the way, if I don't talk to you between now and then. I will try to get something out, but I cannot promise, as I have many familial obligations to fulfill between now and January. Again, thank you for your time. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and peace be with you. Bye-bye.